Why don't people like our product? Because nobody can see your fucking product.
Because your app doesn't work for the first 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah,
and you can only watch games on the app.
Yeah, that's...
there were a lot of problems with the alliance that I think the XFL is not going to have. So I don't think it's going to fail. I think it will continue. I think what's going to happen is they're going to, at some point, partner with the NFL.
If it is successful, I could 100% see that happening. Because, like I said, the NFL got a lot of its entertainment and camera angle and all of that value from what the XFL did the first time around.
Was the spider cam?
The spider cam, the whole the suits that people wear where they're like running onto the field with people. I feel like the miking up players came from there as well.
Speaking of the spider cam type thing, did you watch the Saints-Bears game?
Yeah.
Wasn't that fucking
the kick
beautiful?
Return? The kick return was fantastic.
Cardale Jones. Oh my god, it was beautiful. Only problem that I had with it in hindsight, because like when I was watching, I was like, "This is great," but I think it would have been even more magical, I guess, if I could see how close the defenders actually were to him, because it looked like it was just wide open, which it wasn't.
Yeah, no.
He had to make some crazy moves and break tackles.
But a lot of that was just camera angle.
Yeah,
but it was a really cool way to view a kick return. Like that was pretty nice. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Anyways.
Agreed.
So, XFL, we've agreed, should continue, should get off the ground, billionaire, accessible on TVs. There's no reason for this to fail. And we've picked our teams.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Renegades for life. DR4L.
Whatever.
Anyone got anything more to say about the XFL?
Can't wait to see what they actually bring to the table.
Same here. All right. Let's move on to college football now. Whew. Big upset.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But the Big Ten looks a little bit weaker now.
Well, yeah, when you lose like that, you're certainly going to seem weaker. I look at it from a couple of different angles, but yeah, it's never gonna come off looking great if that's what you're gonna bring to the table. But this is football, and teams can lose and will lose if you don't come in ready to play every single week. That's just the way that it's going to be. Like, anybody can go down. Like, if LSU sleeps on somebody, they can go down.
They're playing Auburn this week.
It's a really good game. I'm looking forward to that game.
Honestly, it has the potential to be a really good game, but I think LSU is going to just beat the shit out of them.
Well, we should see LSU assert their dominance. I don't know that LSU is really going to play anybody until they play Alabama.
This is the week, in my opinion, that LSU gets their number 1 ranking.
I mean, the argument can be made right now.
Oh, I think they are.
I think they are the number 1 team in the country, too. I mean, that's just me personally, but...
I think they are. But after what I think they're going to do to Auburn, there's going to be no doubt that they're going to be the number 1 team in the country.
If they put through a dominant performance, then they really should be considering who they've played so far and the way that they've won games. Again, it's going to have to be a dominating performance. If it's close and score late in the game is what wins it, I don't know. I think they still stay where they are.
Yeah, so let's just take a quick look. LSU at Georgia Southern, whatever. They beat Texas. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Utah State. They beat Florida. They beat Mississippi State. So they've got win over 2 top 10 teams already. Auburn's also ranked.
Right. I also don't know that Florida necessarily deserves to be ranked in the top 10, but that's just a personal feeling.
Yeah. And Utah State, thought at one point they were going to be good. I was wrong. But they're deserving of being the number one team in the nation the way they're doing things. We'll get to that in a little bit. But first, we'll start with the Friday night game, which did not look good for Ohio State for a few minutes.
Yeah, for about the first quarter.
Which, yeah, let's. You're on the road in a Friday night game. You're gonna run into a few problems early on.
Honestly, I think that was a lot of the sluggishness for Ohio State. Because if you look at Ohio State's statistics, they've been coming out of the gate like crazy and scoring a lot of points early, and this is not what happened this time. And to me, being the Ohio State fan, that's worrisome in the beginning, because it's like, is this... Because my biggest fear with that game, to be honest, was that Ohio State was going to be looking too far ahead and be looking at Wisconsin and not worrying about Northwestern, which actually turned out to be the opposite. Wisconsin looked forward to Ohio State and did not think about Illinois, and I think that's part of the reason they lost. But I think, looking more at it subjectively, I think it was more the Friday night. Like, because they've never played on Friday night. It's not something those kids have done since high school.
It's only like the second time that I remember. They did play a Friday night like 3 years ago. The year I won the Death Wish Fantasy League. Okay. I won entry into the Death Wish Fantasy League because we were at Recovery Sports Grill when Ohio State was playing Indiana. Which was either a Thursday or a Friday night.
Yeah, but normally that's not what they do. And
They're
I think
Saturday nights.
I think that was probably what a lot of it was, to be honest with you, was watching a team that wasn't used to playing in that element. And then once they kind of shook that off, it was Ohio State as usual. But one thing that I take away from that game, and Northwestern isn't really good. I understand they're the defending West champions or whatever, and they were in the Big Ten championship last year, but they lost all their talent. They're not that great of a team. I mean, they're not as bad as I think their record portrays, but they're not a good team.
They can't score.
Well, that's the thing. And
their defense has so far been okay enough.
Yeah, and I think it was more showing what Ohio State's offense is capable of to me, where, I mean, their defense is already ranked in the top 5 in most statistical categories. We'll find out if that running defense is a top 5 running defense this weekend. But, I mean, if Ohio State's defense plays like that, and they can actually stop the Wisconsin run, Wisconsin is in real deep trouble because they cannot throw the ball.
Ohio State doesn't even... All right. You know how I've been very much like, if you want to win, just play some defense?
Yeah.
Fuck that, Ohio State. Don't play defense. Let Jonathan Taylor do what he's going to do, because that's going to run the fucking clock. And you've got a quarterback and wide receivers who can make 1-2 fucking play drives into touchdowns constantly.
Well, yeah.
Their offense is what's going to win them that game, not their defense. Chase Young maybe will be a really big factor, but they're going to limit the amount of times that he's going to be able to sack Jack Cohn, because they're just not going to fucking throw the ball.
Well, here's the perfect way Ohio State wins this. One, with Justin Fields and his wide receivers and J.K. Dobbins, you run up the score early. Once you've run up the score early, you force Wisconsin to do what they don't do, which is throw. Because they'll have to throw their way back into the game, take Jonathan Taylor out of the entire situation, and force Wisconsin to do something they don't want to do. Because, quite frankly, this is one of the best secondaries I've seen in Ohio State since I've watched. I don't know where these corners and safeties came from, but they are really good.
That's crazy. Because you've had Garyon Conley and Eli Apple.
Well, Lattimore, I think, is
Marshawn Lattimore.
I mean, we've had good 1-off, 2-off, but this unit as a whole, we're catching interceptions on our back.
Yeah.
Literally laying down. Sorry, Liz. That's where she turned off the game. She's like, when he caught the interception on his back, that's when I was like, done. Like, I understand.
Anyways, let's move on. Next thing we're going to talk about is Penn State because I'm using my ESPN app.
And it gives you the priority.
Yep. So Penn State, God. Early on, I was like, yeah, Penn State, holy shit. And then I got back really quick to the James Franklin must go. Penn State looked real fucking good early on, going up 21-0. And Michigan got back into the game, cut it to 21-14. KJ Hamler with a touchdown. Michigan scored again. Michigan almost scored again. If fucking Bell didn't drop an easy touchdown that any of us would have caught.
If we're that open and the ball's coming towards us, yeah.
Like
I would hope that I would catch
You've got a dude on your back, but the ball's like right in your fucking hands and your chest.
Yeah. I would hope that I would be able to hold on to it.
Like, that's like Division III wide receiver should catch that.
You would think, yeah.
I mean, it was just insane.
It was not. It was it was way closer than it ever should have been.
But it didn't feel like it was that close.
This Michigan team is not good. They do not have quarterback play at all.
Which is why I've been on this whole fire James Franklin thing. Like,
well,
who fucking cares?
Let's be honest, you're beefing with a lot of your coaches right now.
Yeah, a lot.
Like all of them.
Not true.
The Stars coach is fine by you?
The Renegades coach is fine. I mean,
he hasn't even done anything yet.
He's Bob Stoops. Like, what problem should I have with him?
He's undefeated, so
he's undefeated. But no, like, seriously.
Always the optimist, Dan.
Seriously, how many times can I make the comparison before people fucking realize that James Franklin is the college version of Jason Garrett? They're the same fucking coach, just one looks like the less evolved form because he's a fucking college coach. Which, by the way, I hope Florida State fires Willie Taggart and then takes James Franklin from us. Fucking do it.
You're going to welcome it at this point?
Fucking do it. We will pay his contract for you to take him.
Please, do me a favor.
And then you know what? Bring fucking Moorhead back from Mississippi State, promote him to head coach, and like...
Why don't you guys just trade with Florida State? That sounds like a good idea.
We don't want Willie Taggart either.
Oh, shocking. I'm surprised you don't want Willie Taggart.
Why would I want Jason Garrett III?
No, I get it.
like, there are a couple coaches that I would like for Penn State. Lincoln Riley would be fucking awesome at Penn State.
Yeah.
Because Sean Clifford can throw the ball.
But I don't know that you're getting Lincoln Riley.
Oh, fuck no.
Oh, fuck no.
Fuck no. I mean, Cowboys are probably going to get him. That's the hot name, Lincoln Riley, to head coach the Dallas Cowboys with...
Honestly, it sounds like you should write a letter.
Those don't work out for me because I'm wrong in the end.
Well, I guess that's true. You did try to do that with the Cowboys once.
Justin Blackman. Like,
boy, was I wrong.
Boy, was I wrong. Like, real fucking wrong. But anyways, Penn State 7-0. Despite now that I've had time to sit on it, Michigan's defense is actually pretty fucking good.
It's to be honest, their only bright spot.
If I can take anything away from this game, it will three things. One, it's that Penn State's defense has shown fucking flashes of brilliance. Two, you beat a ranked team.
Yeah.
And three, you let Charbonnet run all over you and still won. You're doing something right elsewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have enough talent to be able to make up for things that you can't do. I mean, and hold into games. Penn State's not having as bad as a season as you're seeing, but